Well, good evening and welcome, everyone. I'd like to go ahead and call to order the regular monthly meeting of the Cape Girardeau Board of Education. It's good to see everyone here tonight. It is Monday, March 24th, and the time is 6:05. Let the record show that all board members are present, and please rise as we pledge allegiance to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Up first, board, before us we have an agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Cook, Dr. Fegley, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Agenda is approved. Thank you. Up first, I can only suspect that we have recognitions because I heard a lot of medals clanking in as some people walked into the room. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Dr. Binion.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you. We do have a lot of medals clanking. I noticed that as well. The first up for our recognitions is our CHS swimming and diving team. If I could have, oh, there she is. If you'll go ahead and the Cape Central High continued its tradition of excellence at the recent girls' state meet. Our Tigers placed third. Coach Powell is here to tell us a little bit about their win.
She's back again.
Another
board
we
meeting.
love that.
We do too. Well, we had an exciting meet. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
great. Okay, well, first of all, before I talked about the meet, Coach Searman's here, and I wanted to recognize him. Coach Mary LeGrand also coaches with us, and so have another great coaching staff, and I want everybody to help me thank Coach Searman. He is such an integral part of the team, and I just feel like he doesn't get that recognition that he deserves, so I would like everybody to help me thank Coach Searman. Thank you. And Coach Lou, we call Coach Mary LeGrand Coach Lou, and she could not be here tonight, but she's been a wonderful addition to the coaching staff. So we had an exciting meet. I'm not really sure how this happened, but we thought we had a possibility to get on the podium all year when we looked at these talented girls we had. And after prelims, Coach Sherman and I immediately did the math, and it turns out after prelims with 4 girls, only 4 girls, we were in second place at the Class 1 State Swimming and Diving Championship. So I thought we had a shot maybe for 4th, looking at the whole year. So to be in that position was really exciting. So they showed up the next day, and it ended up we were 3rd by 9 points. But Parkway Central, they had a diver that scored really well in 8th place, or we were only 9 points out of 2nd. So it was quite exciting, and the girls really did a nice job. And for 4 girls to accomplish that, it really says a lot about their dedication, commitment, and what they put into this team. So all the other teams got up on the podium for their pictures, and there was barely enough room on the podium for all of their team. And then we had 4 girls up there, so it was really exciting. But anyway, I just wanted to mention Kennedy. Why don't you go ahead and come on up? I'm going to bring them all up. Kennedy was 9th in the 200 free and 12th in the 500 free for 2 All-State Honorable Mention honors. And Kennedy is a sophomore. And we have 1 freshman with us, Carson McAllister, if you'll come up, please. Carson was 4th in the 100 backstroke, and she was a state champion in the 50 freestyle. And Bella, if you would come up, Bella Pangill's one of our seniors. And Bella was 13th in the 50 and 10th in the 100. And Sydney Ringwald, okay, yes. And Sydney Ringwald was third in the 50 free and third in the 100 free. So So again, that the number of points there was amazing, and they combined to be state champions in the 200 freestyle relay, and we finished second in the 400 freestyle relay. So between their individual events and the relays, it was really exciting, and it was really nice to bring that trophy home. So while they're up here, I did want to mention not only do they swim well, but very accomplished in the classroom as well. And both Bella and Sydney have the grades to become academic All-American and over a 4.0. So anyway, they get done in the classroom and in the swimming pool. So I wanted to mention to Bella, I think in her 4 years, we had trouble counting them all, but I think 8 medals. That would mean top 8 finishes at state. And Sydney has the perfect 4 out of 4. She has 16 all-state medals for the 4 years she's been in high school. So you can see why this group accomplished so much. They had great leaders, the seniors, great underclassmen. It was just a great world. So thank you all for recognizing us, and we really appreciate that. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I think they'll want to
Coach Powell, we're going to come up and take
doing
pictures
a
if we
picture.
can. If the
Okay.
coaches will come up.
And Dr. Binion, I did want to mention, they've already asked, when we're going to lunch. So
Yes, I know.
check your
Are we
calendar.
going to Chili's again?
But look, there's only 4 of them.
I know, it's not, you guys trust me. They
I
ate
think
enough last
36.
time. We went.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, maybe 36.
Get out.
Go for it. I love it.
I look forward to going out to eat with you all.
I will lead us.
We have quite a few recognitions. Really excited about this one. It's our multi-level counselor of the year. We are pleased to celebrate our very own Tracy Miracle, if you'll come up for a second, at the multi-level Southeast Missouri Counselor of the Year. Ms. Miracle is the counselor at the Cape Central Academy. She was honored by her peers at the recent award ceremony at the Cape Career Technology Center. We know how big of an impact she is having on the students and staff at Cape Central Academy. Please join me in congratulations. Hang on, we're going to take a picture of you. I would have Ms. Miracle tell you all the things that she does, but it's a long, long list. She's an incredible leader in our building. We're just really proud of her. Next is our MASC, Distinguished Student Leaders. It's the Missouri Association of Student Councils. When I call your name, if you'll come up. Also, if Ms. Dubois and Ms. Kirchner could come up as well. Cyrus Boxendorfer and Emily Floyd have earned the Distinguished Students Leader Award from the Missouri Association of Student Councils. This honor recognizes students who demonstrate superior student council leadership skills and knowledge based on the organization's criteria and evaluation procedures. Congratulations to Cyrus and Emily. We have. Just Duval was high for it.
I knew that you did that too.
I'll never know, Mr. Lawson. You make it a show here.
Hovering.
Safety first. Safety first.
Mr. Ritter and I are going to get a little tired here.
Getting our steps in today.
The next is our Missouri All-State Choir. It's my honor to recognize another group of outstanding students from Cape Central High. We have a long list of talented performers from the Central High School. If I call your name, if you'll come to the front. And if I say your last name wrong, I apologize. You can correct me. Zachary Baber, Madeline Bitter, Amy Caldwell, Hannah Chase, Sienna Hahn, Titan Hale, Aubrey Ledbetter, Miranda King, Michaela Mason, Goliath Morris Young, Casey Neighbors, Jackson Schollenberger, and Adrian Wilson. Congratulations. We have more too, so. The Missouri All-State Choir was Amy Caldwell and Sienna Hahn, and then Missouri State Sight Singing Bee was Amy Caldwell.
It's a good time for a quartet here. What's the show when they sing?
Glee.
Oh, no, the other one.
Oh.
What's the one that they sing?
I'm just upset the vineyard didn't sing that whole thing.
The bell?
He is the vineyard.
Oh, Pitch Perfect.
It's perfect.
He is
That's
now.
not a show, it's a movie.
What's this movie?
Jared, do you need that?
No, it's
step
not.
up?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Hey, if I promise I'll be quick. Basically, I just want to share two things. The first thing is in the fall, students get to audition for our all-district choir. Any student that gets accepted into that, 11th and 12th graders get to also audition for the all-state choir. We have about 63 regional schools that are part of our choir district that partake in that, and Amy Caldwell and Sienna Hahn were two of the four individuals from their voice parts that got selected to be invited to sing in January. They also had scores that were high enough they got invited to the all-state choir that's performing this summer at Missouri State University. So there was actually two different things that they were accepted into. The rest of these groups and the 9 students that were unable to be here, they performed 2 weeks ago. They did 2 songs from memory in front of an adjudicator who gave them a rating based on certain criteria. And any student that receives an exemplary or gold rating is invited to go to state to perform at Mizzou in May. So these 4, along with 9 other students, will be traveling with us in May to compete at the state level, performing those songs for some adjudicators from around the country. And hopefully they're sweating a little bit and starting to practice when they drive home. So will you help me congratulate them one more time?
I'm going to say one other thing. Mr. White, you can tell every time he's working with his kids, he loves his work, and he really takes pride in what he does. You guys are an example of all the hard work that you all do every day. So we appreciate you. Thank you, Mr. White.
Thank you.
Next is our Missouri School Board Appreciation. Last for our recognition tonight, we would like to take a moment to thank the members of our school board. We are deeply grateful to the men and women who dedicated their time and energy each month to serving our school. Your leadership strength in districts ensures over 4,200 students receive the best academic experience possible, and we just appreciate all of you. I know we have another award that'll probably be coming up here in a little bit that Mr. Ritter will do as well.
And we do have one more very important recognition we cannot forget about, and that is our terrific Tigers. That's why our room is probably pretty full this evening, so welcome. So for Terrific Tigers, a student from each building is selected based on service to others, leadership, and scholarship. So parents, we thank you as well for everything that you do. So when your student's name is called, please don't be afraid to stand up, and you can also come take your own pictures as we celebrate them.
Alma Schroeder Elementary. Amaris Swoboda, 4th grade daughter of Rebecca and Elliot Swoboda. Reese is a true terrific tiger, always demonstrating kindness, responsibility, and hard work in every class and setting. Her positive attitude and dedication to doing her best makes her a great role model for others throughout the school. Congratulations, Reese. Keep up the great work. Blanchard Elementary, Carter Radicke, 3rd grade son of Ashley Radicke and Kyle Radicke. Carter is a role model in the classroom and sets a standard high for his peers. He is someone who can be counted on to be a leader for others. Carter is attentive in class, follows instructions immediately, takes pride in his work, and strives to do his best. Congratulations on such an amazing honor, Carter. Clifford Elementary, Nevaeh Dennis, 4th grade daughter of LaQuisha Strickland and Travion Dennis. Nevaeh is a reliable student with a caring heart. She comes to school and is always ready to learn. Nevaeh will participate in class without any hesitation and always gives 100% to her work. She's always kind to her peers and teachers at Clifford, and she sets the tone of what it means to be a terrific tiger. Franklin Elementary, Elijah Edgington, 3rd grade son of Shanna Edgington and Justin Edgington. Elijah is an excellent example of a model student. Consistently performs well academically, he actively participates in class, and is the first to offer assistance to others without being asked. Elijah sets a positive example and is a friend to his peers. Congratulations, Elijah. Jefferson Elementary, Micah Banks, 4th grade son of Alexander Brown and Malcolm Banks. Micah Banks consistently demonstrates outstanding academic performance and dedication to his studies. Whether tackling complex assignments or engaging in thought-provoking discussions, he approaches every challenge with a positive attitude and a desire to excel. Micah exemplifies the qualities of an exceptional student, consistently going above and beyond expectations. Central Middle School, Sloan Hemby, 5th grade daughter of Victoria and Stephen Hemby. Sloan consistently shows enthusiasm for learning. She's a great role model for her peers. She puts in her best effort on all assignments and brings positive energy to the classroom each day. She's respected by her peers and teachers. Way to roar, Sloan. Terry W. Kitchen Junior High, Jordan Brooks, 7th grade son of Amanda and Tyrone Brooks. Central High School, Cadence Probst, 12th grade daughter of Gretchen and Brian Probst. Central Academy, Charles Johnson, 12th grade son of Irene Chamberlain. Then from February, Clifford Elementary, Teelan Wren, 4th grade son of Deltrice and Demetrius Wren. Teelan is a respectful and responsible student. He's always willing to help others and puts forth his best effort in all he does. These characteristics will help him be successful in life. He's also friendly to teachers and his classmates. We are lucky to have him at Clifford. Central Middle School, Cage Teagart, 5th grade son of Lisa and Robert Teagart. Cage is a wonderful example of a true CMS Tiger. He is wonderfully kind, respectful, and radiates positivity. He consistently demonstrates empathy, respect, and a sincere desire to make CMS a better place. Thank you, Cage, for all you do. Then the last one for February, Terry W. Kitchen Junior High, Mariah Price, 8th grade daughter of Bethany Liggins.
Yes, and everyone else right here in the front. Spread all the way across. There we go. All the way across. Look at that. Big smiles. Wait. All right, great job, everyone. Wait, there's more.
Nope, they're leaving.
All right. Up next, we have information proposals or comments from the audience. Mr. Payne, do we have anyone this month? No applications this month. All right. Thank you, sir. As a reminder, requests to place an item on the agenda or to address the board should be submitted in writing at least 5 days in advance of the regular monthly board meeting. Please submit requests to the board secretary, which is Mr. Payne, at Central Administration Office. Constituents who request to address the board are allotted 3 minutes to speak. And for more information regarding public participation in board meetings, please see board policies on the district's website. Up next, we have the informational report for the evening, and up first is the board president's report. It is a very special Monday, I'm sure, for a lot of reasons, but it is also Crystal's birthday. So happy birthday. 24, finally.
That's right.
And a couple other reminders. Secondly, Election Day is upon us, April 8th. There is an election, and I believe we have, is it 5 total? 5 total candidates for the school board, I believe. One of those being our own Mr. Wilker, so good luck to you, sir. And that is on April 8th, which also means we have one board member, and it's her last board meeting, so I wanted to take a moment to celebrate Miss Veronica Langston. So thank you for your 3 years of service. We also have a gift for you.
Oh, God.
So we'll pass that down. Open it now or later, it's up to you. I'm just kidding. But I want to thank both of you for your years of service. Appreciate you guys. And Veronica, even though this is your last one, we appreciate everything you've done. And Matt, we hope to see you again. All right. And up next, we have the superintendent's report. Dr. Binion.
Okay. It's been a busy start to this. Really, the main thing is I just wanted to articulate again tonight the importance of contacting our state senators to express our opposition to open enrollment. I'm sure Crystal will have a lot to talk about that because we went to Jeff City week before last.
That forgot to.
Yeah, a couple weeks.
I forgot to put that in my report.
We
so-
had some great conversations with our local legislators, Mr. Hovis, Representative Hovis, and Representative Voss, and then Senator Berger, and we got to hear some other things in regards to open enrollment by Mr. Pollitt, Representative Pollitt. So I'm not going to steal any thunder there. I'm going to just say I want to reiterate the fact is just be very diligent about contacting your state legislators. It's so important that we continue to have those conversations. Don't underestimate having conversations with them, whether it's an email or whether it's in person. So please make sure you're doing that. That's it.
All right, up next we have our CSIP and program evaluations for this board meeting. And first we have CSIP, which is our Continuous School Improvement Plan. That's what that stands for. Learn for. Establish a plan to update curriculum and increase access to resources that will enhance instructional practices. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Jamie Russell.
So I in the other session that we had, special session earlier, went over the academic services plan, and we'll come back to that here in just a second. But I wanted to give you guys an update of where we're at with the other steps. And so just a very quick update here. Action step 1 was to revise the curriculum processes through assessing and revising the curriculum cycle and ensuring proper pacing and implementation that's aligned to the Missouri Learning Standards. We have gone through we've gone through 3 out of the 4 core subjects. We've still got a little bit of work to do on ELA, but it's complete as is as far as alignment is concerned. And then next year we start with science, and so looking forward to that. So I put a score of 75% down on that because we're at 3 out of 4. On step 2, we've got developed a process to align standards and content using year-over-year state assessment data to identify low academic area trends. And so one of the parts of the plan, as we learned earlier, is that we've got an 8-year process in outlining years 2 through 8, going back and that being a part of each year. That is going to be added back into the process after we go back and talk to our guidance team a little bit more about what that looks like. Action step 3 is develop a process in which professional development leaders use state and local data to plan professional development focused on district-wide academic and instructional plans. And so this part of it is pretty straightforward. It's nice to say, hey, just go do that, but it's better to have a bigger conversation around it. And so what we're going to do is outline a process to where it goes through our content curriculum meetings and then comes up and is suggested to the professional development team. And so that's going to be working, again, as far as this next phase of that plan. And then action step 4 is monitor implementation of evidence-based instructional strategies for all students as evidenced by classroom walkthrough data. Put 40% on that because it is partially in place right now, and we're working to add some more to options to the secondary walkthrough form, and then fully add it to the elementary. And so that's kind of where we're at in that process right now. So walkthroughs, principals can go through and tag exactly what things that they're seeing, so we can use that to peek at what's working as far as how we're teaching. And then action step 5 is create an academic services plan to guide curriculum development. That is also attached here for anybody who wants to see it. We went through it in our special session earlier. It's a document that just lays out that process of how we create and adopt curriculum and make sure that it's aligned to Missouri Learning Standards. And then action step 6 is create a literacy plan including multi-tiered systems of intervention for professional development and for educators, including the science of reading methodologies. So right now we are where we were at last year, still waiting on the state to give us their literacy plan. We've been waiting for 3 full years now and haven't received such a thing, and aren't seeing any movement on that either. So we've got our RSP plan and some other pieces connected to it, and so we're still just waiting. I mean, we're going to have to, I guess. And so that is CSIP Learn 4. I was going to see if you guys had any questions on that plan. Okay.
Thank you. It's nice to hear the updates and see the progression, because it is continuous, hence the name, Continuous School Improvement Plan. So nice to see the updates. All right, up next for our CSIP plan, or our CSIP, P's part of the word there, our CSIP plan. Sorry, thinking in my own head with a microphone. CSIP Lead 3, develop a comprehensive plan to better align building operations. I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Beck.
Mr. Ritter, I don't know if I can follow that. So we are doubling down on CSIP program evaluations tonight because CSIP Lead 3 is annually scheduled regularly for February. I was out for a conference at our last board meeting, which was the reason we pushed it back. I'm going to kind of provide a broad overview of the pieces that's included in the artifact that I attached to the board meeting agenda, and then more or less open it up for questions or just to provide guidance, because this is a very big pillar that encompasses our continuous school improvement plan. So 3 of the key elements that focus specifically under the comprehensive plan to align building operations is consistent behavior intervention strategies along with data reporting and tracking across the district. Consistent curriculum adoption and the implementation process and procedure followed by all of our staff. So that's K-12 across the district. Mr. Russell's kind of highlighted that process already tonight by incorporating the learn piece into it. That's a big component of that. Our K-12 benchmark assessment process alignment with Galileo across the district is another huge component. So our key metrics for the current year, obviously we were looking at behavior resolution data from every building district-wide, adoption and implementation of a curriculum schedule, which has already been revised and included in the academic services plan, handbook development that pretty much streamline and guides the process of what curriculum adoption and review will look like across the district, and then benchmark testing windows that are consistent amongst all MAP areas and EOC tested areas as well. So if you keep going farther down into this, I don't know that we've ever done this, and I didn't ask Dr. Binion's permission to do it, but I did put a document on his desk, and he said it looked great. So we actually included building breakdown, student behavior, or incident referral numbers and percentages including into this report. So that's being as transparent as we can be. So if you're looking at every discipline incident from across the entire district, the number of incidents, and if you add it up to equal that 100%, what percentage is broken down by buildings, that's the data you have here. We don't break it down by the type of incident, the resolution, any of that, because you get into confidential student data. But if you're ever wondering, hey, over the course of a school year leading till February, how many actual discipline referrals do we have at the high school? What percentage of those referrals takes up from the pot of the district? This is that breakdown for you to look at. And obviously a lot of that has to do with student enrollment. Obviously the high school averages between 11 to 1,200 kids at any given time. But it's kind of tiered down, but the more important element of this is now as a district K-12, we're all tracking and reporting using the same method. And I can talk a little bit more about that here in a few minutes too. The next section tracks the academic service plan and implementation window. That's Mr. Russell, Nick Cato, Tina Schusler doing a lot of that work on the ground with our building and teams. I just kind of included the graphic that shows the big picture of where it starts and where we land. I've also linked the academic services plan, which Jamie covered earlier, but that's available if you just go to our CSIP online. You can review all those materials. And then the last element on here was just K-12 district assessments versus MAP assessment. We use an interactive platform that's linked through our continuous school improvement plan. So you can go at any given time, click that link that I've included in the document, and you'll see a comparison of our K-12 benchmarks versus the actual MAP results from the most recent round of testing. So I listed every area that includes under those 3 bullet points listed below as well, but I don't want to read those off to you guys. Overall level of performance, I wrote a pretty short narrative there at the bottom, but just highlighting. Obviously, there's been clear efforts district-wide to align consistent practices K-12. There's always room to get better at things you're doing. You have to reevaluate things constantly and reflect on it. The overall rating at this time was given that average. I think there's clearly room that we can improve with our academic services components that we're still evaluating with teams across the district. Cleaning up data reporting and discipline tracking through Infinite Campus can always be improved upon for consistency because we have so many buildings. And then obviously we're always looking to improve on our assessments in our MAP comparison. So I'd be happy to answer any questions you have about any of these pieces or expand or clarify on any sections.
This,
No, you have to be part of it.
Open to the audience with the subject that we're being talked about. Is that broken down into demographics as well?
For which element?
For the slide that you showed us with the graph?
For the discipline section? That is just broken down district-wide by building. There's no
District-wide by
demographic
building.
breakdown.
Is that information that you guys could consider?
Yeah, if the board were to request that, as long as the student information's removed. We actually report all that information to the state already,
Yeah, it's on
so it
state.
lags a year behind, but you can go to DESI and access it.
The behavior data, does that include like tardies and every discipline referral for everything?
Yep, so that's
So that would
every
make sense.
category of discipline.
That
we
would make sense
actually
why the
track.
high school and the junior high would have so many, because
Yep.
I get it now.
If you pull the tardy, I mean, it's gonna change the percentage drastically, but tardies lead to conferences, which leads to after-school
No,
detention.
sure, I just, I would imagine that a lot of that number is something like tardies that isn't,
Right.
Yeah. While it is a behavior, it's also a more minor behavior.
It's easy corrective
Right,
behavior
right.
sometimes.
Cell phone violations, all those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that encompasses anything documented into Infinite Campus that resulted in a educational record for a discipline referral.
Yeah, 1,920 sounds like a lot, but when you start looking at things like that, it makes it a much more manageable, thought as a parent.
Yeah.
Right? Not such a scary number.
1.15 per student.
Right.
Something like that.
All right, well, up next we have our academic services report. We're going to stay with Dr. Beck, and I'm pretty excited to hear a Yonder program update.
Yeah, so I didn't want to focus as much on the program itself. Obviously, we've spent a lot of time in the last 2 years talking about how it functions at the junior high and the high school. I wanted to focus more on the results. This is strictly staff survey results for our certified teachers at the junior high and the high school. So without going through every question, it's based on the Likert scale. So you start at strongly disagree, working up to neutral, and then the opposite side of that effect would be strongly agree. So it's rated 1 through 5. The majority of every question asked about the impact of Yonder scored at about 90% or above on average, with either agree or strongly agree on the positive impacts of the program. The question that I look to the most is the very last one, because it's the overarching, encompassing, catches everything. Basically, do you feel that the district's adoption of the program has made a positive impact on classroom instruction and minimizing distractions? That has set for 2 years on about 93% or above for staff response. And then if you're wondering about sample size between junior high and high school, this is about 40 to 45% of staff responding, so strictly certified teachers between the two buildings when you look at the overall numbers of how many teachers we have. Something I didn't do, and I think Dr. Fagley asked about it the last round, was can we hear some of the open-ended response to the survey? So I actually included just like 4 random snippets there at the bottom of the handout, but the part I really liked about this was they talk about the positive effect, but they also talked about how in certain sections it was just used to reinforce the district policies that were already in place to have consistency. It talked about taking the task off of the teacher of managing cell phones in the classroom, because it's zero tolerance. It's a consistent expectation building wide. So just a couple snippets there for you guys to look at. I'd be happy to share all the open-ended feedback. If you ever want to look at it, it's completely anonymous. And then a very recent announcement that was just actually confirmed this last week. I was just asked to join the National Partner Advisory Board for Yonder.
Wow.
It's the founding advisory board that they've ever hosted for educational institutions, so it's going to be made up of about 8 to 10 superintendents from across the entire country. And it was a pretty neat experience, because the CEO and founder was the one that reached out personally to invite me to serve on the board.
Very cool.
Part of this comes
Should we get a
from
discount for
is
that?
that Dr. Beck and Mr. Russell went and spoke to legislators as well. So
Yep.
a lot of this work that's going on at the state level is because of the two of them choosing policies.
Congratulations. I think it's a testimony to how well this implementation has gone and the effects of it. I think probably surprises no one on this board that getting kids more engaged and less enthralled in a cell phone is a positive thing. So kudos to you and the team. It seems like the results we've gotten have been what we would have hoped for and expected.
Yeah.
So not without a lot of hard work behind the scenes. So thanks again.
And obviously, we did go testify for, it was a bipartisan bill between both parties at Jefferson City, and we actually testified in support of essentially the, legislators putting some form of state law into governing the use of cell phone in schools, not to get too explicit into what that's gonna say at the end outcome. But Mr. Russell shared, at the year following the implementation of Yonder, we had our lowest retention results at the high school for our freshman class. Ms. Scheller's here tonight, even though she's not up here with a mic to speak. I've talked to her and her assistant principal team. There's been a drastic reduction in fighting at the high school. When we do have incidents that occur now that would have typically been, a social media spotlight later, we're not having those problems, because when you look at the cameras and look at that incident, there's nobody that has cell phones out recording anymore. So it's limited the potential ramifications of bullying or cyberbullying later and things like that. So we don't actually just see all the positive outcomes in the behavior referral data.
Yeah.
It would take endless conversations happening with staff and administrators from the building, but I'll speak for the staff who's not here tonight. Thank you for your investment in Yonder, because I do think it's making a difference in our classrooms. Ms. Scheller, do you have anything to add to that?
Well said.
She's short-timing.
Up next, under our academic services report, we're going to continue on with our library and media resources evaluation. Back to Mr. Russell.
All right. My battery's dying in my mouse over here, but we'll try to get it done. All right, so this is a report that we do every 2 years, so this is my first time getting to share it with you. So this is a library media program across the district. Every student is affected by the library, as you guys know. Since it's a 2-year program, I put the numbers for the previous 2 years. And so you guys can see we've had most of our cost there is from staff, but our numbers from resources have remained pretty steady, mostly because we've, early on in, right after COVID, there's a huge push in STEM, and we had just redone our curriculum, and so we were buying different materials for that, and so we've got some of those materials. It's just replacement, and then adding and updating books. And so this is all connects back to our literacy gap piece from Learn 2. And let's see, let me scroll down here just a little bit. Strengths of the program. Our librarians teach not only literacy and how to use a library, but they're also our computer teachers at the elementary level. And there are research specialists in teaching the students how to do research and, partially how to write papers, make citations. All that stuff is still happening in the library. And so huge strength is that we have in almost every single building a certified librarian and staff who truly care about doing those things. And so they also wear many hats. They're also, if our tech guy can't be there, they're our backup tech person. They're the, if my mom was a librarian, so like they're the, if you could call somebody a resource in the building, it's going to be the librarian, as far as somebody who serves everybody. Concerns in our program, just a minor one that we found this year, just going through, we had some unequal allocation of materials per student. I went through and looked at how much per student we're spending in the library, and so really just one building. They got it right one year, and for some reason went back to an old number that they started using, and we're just correcting that. Going forward into this year is really the only big concern. Obviously, we have some buildings that have older books than others, and so we're trying to make a concerted effort to update books and make sure that there's books for all of our students in those buildings. And so another one is, as you guys know, the rate of information changes, and keeping those books updated is a huge task. And imagine having to do that for every topic available for your students. And that's again just something else that our librarians do every year. We've got a couple buildings where they're also doing after-school STEM programs and stuff like that inside of the library, and they're in charge of that. And so a lot of our elementaries are trying to figure out how to expand that as much as they can, and so we're trying to help them to do that as well. And then in some places, this 10-year plan discussion too is limited library space. Everybody always wants a bigger library as part of it, but also utilizing the spaces that we have to make sure that it's the best for our students. Let's see here. Program goals, again, to keep doing all of those things and to do it better is really the summation there. I almost gave us a excellent for a library, but just because of the funding issue in that one building, I pulled it back. But hopefully next time we do this here in a couple of years, we'll be at excellent. So.
Yay libraries.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I have to say.
Yes. Very good. Any questions for any of our academic services reports? All right, up next we have our Community Teachers Association report. Mr. Lappy's in the room. Welcome.
All right. So some shout outs this month, starting at Alma Schroeder. Thank you, it says, to Mrs. Pickens. She started an after school STEM club, which Mr. Russell was just talking about. For 3rd and 4th grade students, it says their students are thriving in STEM and engineering, and family nights have been a huge success. Thank you for always bringing fun and excitement to our students. Also, Miss Heather Randall is the backbone of Sweet Home Alma Schroeder. She is everything to everyone, 100% student-focused, a cheerleader for all staff, and an advocate for parents. She makes Sweet Home a better place every single day. Huge shout out to our SPED staff and Mrs. Angie Schott. This team is top-notch in everything they do. That includes our absolutely incredible TA team. We could not do it without them. So at Blanchard, shout out to Jessica Pattengill for being everywhere all the time. You can always count on her to make time for her coworkers or for the kiddos. She has a way of lifting others up. Shout out to Hannah McFerrin for always being a strong teammate. She's a natural leader who is always lifting others up and is the kindest person you'll ever meet. Also, shout out to Angie Haggerty. She goes above and beyond to support teachers and students. She always is doing what's best for everyone. At Clippard, a shout out to the teacher assistants who continuously go above and beyond for the students at Clippard. They are hardworking and dedicated to their job. We truly have the best of the best, so they thank them for that. This person wrote, the staff put on an amazing family night to celebrate Dr. Seuss's birthday. They had a large turnout despite the weather. Parents, teachers, and students had a great time. A huge shout out to Mr. Moore for the successful 1st grade performance. At the CTC, the shout out goes to the custodial staff for always keeping the building looking great. Mrs. Emily Elliott for organizing and running CTC mock interview week. It was a total success. It says here they had 550 interviews with around 100 employers. Thank you for all CTC staff for helping and getting students ready for interviews as well. Shout out to Sarah Estes, who runs the CTC DECA store. The DECA store, our school-based enterprise run by CAPE CTC's marketing program, has achieved gold certification for the 24-25 school year. This prestigious recognition places our DECA store among only 851 school-based enterprises nationwide to earn this honor. Our students' hard work, dedication, and entrepreneurial, if I can say that, man, skills will be celebrated at our DECA's International Career Development Conference this April in Orlando, Florida. Another shout out that's not on here, but our 4th graders from Jefferson got to go to CTC last week for a day to learn about careers, and it was an awesome program. It's our 2nd year to do that, and it takes a lot of coordination on their part, so we always appreciate working with Mr. Abernathy and Miss Lamford. Yeah, I had it on the tip of my tongue. At the early childhood, shout out to Amanda Malcolm and Julia Jorgensen for helping arrange visits from the fire department and conservation department. Brooke Humphrey, thank you for always watching our students who have delayed pickup. Shout out to Megan Flowers. Thank you for setting up a St. Patrick's Day treat table for staff. Also, Miss Amanda and Miss Emily, thank you for the extra time and energy it took to plan fun activities for your classes for St. Patrick's Day. He acted like a leprechaun on the shelf with all the festivities. At Franklin, shout out to our art teacher, Miss Ramdial, for her exciting art lessons. If you ever get a chance to visit, this person says, you won't be disappointed. Not only are her art projects fantastic, but she engages students in the why behind the artwork. Last month, students studied lizard habitats and lizard skin before creating a lizard project. Students design lizard skin based on their environment. Shout out to our administrative assistant, Miss Carissa. She keeps us all on track and welcomes everyone with a smile. At the high school, shout out to the counselors as they get everything together for ACT, pre-ACT, work keys, EOCs, and AP exams. Shout out to Miss Ward, who spent a giant amount of her time testing our EL students. Shout out to Miss Strothman for all her work with ABC Today to arrange the career fair, and to Mr. Ross and Miss Snurbush for all their students' success at the Job Olympics. A shout out at Jefferson says the custodial staff are always going above and beyond for the building. Also shout outs to Miss Walker and Miss Graham for always going above and beyond for the students and staff. They're two of the most supportive principals, and they make our jobs 100 times easier. And then shout out to Coach Jenkins, who is our behavior interventionist. He goes above and beyond for the students. He's always willing to share any behavior strategies and works wonders with the students who need it most. At the junior high, shout out to James Lane, Mo McWhorter, and Diane Harris Buford. They have been incredible this year. They continue to show up and serve students no matter what the day may bring. Proud of this team for pulling together. This person writes, "We are going to finish the year strong." And finally, at the middle school, shout out to Brooke Deloach for being amazing at all she does, for loving and caring for all the students and staff, and for going above and beyond every day at CMS. All the CMS TAs and the effort they put in and bring every day with smiles on their faces are contagious. Shout out to Miss Russum and Miss Brubaker, our resident student teachers, for coming in and being a part of our team this semester. They both show a passion for teaching, and we are glad to be helping CMO students find their way in this field. Another shout out to Miss Deloach, and then this person added Miss Centers for all their hard work planning and organizing the third quarter reward party. And final shout out to Mrs. Hartman for jumping in and showing love and compassion to students and helping them be successful in many areas of their school day. So that is all our shout outs. I did want to report back that our CTA, got a chance to go to Jeff City as well, to the Capitol, and we had 5 of our members go. So myself, Shannon Berghoff, Marsha Medlin, Candace Hyder, and Cecily Masters. We also got a chance to meet with Representative Voss, Representative Hovis, and Senator Berger. And we had some great discussions. This time we kind of approached it different. Sometimes you go in there and you really want to demand what you have to say, but this time we said, what can we do for you, as a way to try to meet in the middle. And it seemed to be a better received thing. That was kind of Shannon Berghoff's idea, so I give her a shout out there. One thing I will say was great to hear Dr. Binion's name came up a lot because of the conversations that these representatives have been having. That's not something we usually hear, so it's great to know there's that continuous conversation and they know where Cape Public Schools are and what we stand for. So that was really cool to hear. But any questions for me?
Tyler, can you mention the breakfast?
Oh, yes. The breakfast, we did have our CTA sub appreciation breakfast on Friday. I believe we had around 16 subs that came, and we got to give out door prizes. The foundation helped in that way, so we do appreciate their support as well. So it's kind of our second annual, and the committee did that great job, and we worked with Ms. Katie Tackett as well, who is our sub coordinator.
I did just want to second the shout out for Mr. Crowley and the CTC. We've gotten to do the interviews for several years, and like each year the kids keep getting more and more confident and more just well-rounded. So this year was great, and just love it. Just keep that up.
Yeah.
Dr. Crowley, lo siento. Sorry. I'm slow.
All right. Anything else? Well, thank you all. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Yes. Very good. Thank you. Up next, we have our treasurer finance report, Ms. Dudek.
This report is for February. For the general fund, we have a beginning fund balance of $26.3 million. We received $7.2 in revenues. We're still getting current taxes, and so that's why our revenues are exceeding our expenses so much for this month. Expenses of 1.6, transferred a little under $1 million to special revenue fund, leaving us with an ending fund balance of $30.9 million. The cash and investment details are listed. This is for all funds, the banks that hold the district's money. Does anyone have any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Up next, I'm not going to skip it this time. We have our support services report, Mr. Crowell.
We had a bet going on. See what was going to happen there, and needless to say, I lost money. Thank you, Ford. So updates right now, our CTC Welding Lab expansion is getting closer and closer to being completed. Our first walkthrough punch list was done last week, so those items are being readdressed and finished, as well as a few plumbing issues with the gas lines and a few fine tunings of equipment in there. We are still expected to offer the first classes this summer for our adult students, and then that new lab will be open for our high school students, our secondary level students next fall. So we're really excited about that. And just as a reminder, that's going to take multiple rooms within the existing building, free them up for other programming needs that we will be able to address curriculum with. So we're really excited about that. Long-range facility plan, the community should be expecting either later this week or the beginning of next week. There's the community survey that is out for the greater community. We're fine-tuning a few typos in there, rearranging some of the slides on the presentation that we will send the link out to the public. They'll be able to go through that presentation, and then they'll go through a survey, and then if there is anything that is not covered in the survey that they have concerns about when it comes to our facilities usage and a long-range vision, there'll be areas where they can interject what they would like to see as well. Once that's compiled, then we'll start opening up meetings to the public, not opening meet, but having open meetings for the public to attend to address what was turned in on those surveys. But we're still moving along progressively towards bringing you that long-range plan this June at a board meeting for your adoption. And just a reminder, that plan is going to be the foundation for an upcoming non-tax increase bond initiative that we're looking at next year. So a lot of people have been working on this plan. We're really excited about it. Other than that, just with the weather being nice, whether the weather's nice or bad, just be on the lookout for school buses. One of the things that we're still getting a lot of reports, and we're turning these reports in, vehicles running the stop arms when they're stopped and the lights are up and the arm is out. So please just help spread the word. There are huge yellow vehicles on the road, and they are stopped. Do not pass them. And as tongue-in-cheek as I said that, it's a very serious concern in our community, but across the state and across the country. So with that, I have nothing else to report, unless you have any other questions.
Thank you. Up next, we have our board reports for this evening, and first up is the MSBA delegate report. Dr. Fick?
I don't really have a report. I just recommend that people listen to what Crystal has to say next.
Pressure's
And
on.
Contact your representatives.
I also would like to recommend that people listen to Crystal Flingy in this next report. It is the legislative report.
I am so wise. Listen to me. First of all, Mr. Ritter and Dr. Binion have both already mentioned, but we had the Advocacy Day at the Capitol. It was such a great opportunity. We're especially appreciative of Senator Berger. He really took a significant amount of time out of his day to give us a tour of the Senate floor, which was very cool, walk us through all kinds of details about what goes on behind the scenes. But most importantly, he sat down with us for a good length of time, invited other legislators to come into his office and have conversations with us and with several other districts in the area. And it was a very productive meeting, and I genuinely was appreciative that he took the time and seemingly had the interest in what we had to say. So it was a great opportunity, and I'm really glad that we got to do that. Moving on, several things that are happening within the legislative session. First of all, open enrollment, which Dr. Binion mentioned. HB 711 has passed the House and now is sitting at the Senate. It has not been assigned to a committee, but just based on the amount of interest in the particular bill, we expect that it will likely be moving forward very quickly. One thing that was mentioned a couple different times in that meeting that we had with Senator Berger and other legislators is that they really do want to hear from their constituents on this topic especially. So I think it's always important to reach out to your legislators when there's something that's important to you, but especially when they're asking for your input. This is a great opportunity where we know their ears are opened. And so, reach out as
board member, as a community member, if you're working for the school district, as a parent, especially as a parent, I think they really want to hear from parents. So, it's just a great opportunity to reach out. Specifically, in our case, it's Senator Berger. I'll really briefly give you some talking points about why we are not in support of open enrollment, why we find it disadvantageous for our community. It diverts resources out of the community. It can shrink the number of extracurricular programs that a district is able to provide. The district is responsible for transportation, so it creates budget burdens. It has an inordinately negative effect on SPED students because it allows districts to accept or deny based on SPED status. Lowers community support and involvement. So just bottom line, keeping our schools community based is what works best for our community. So that is open enrollment. Another thing I wanted to touch on is the budget. The budget is currently sitting in the House, has not been approved yet, but once it is approved, it has to move on to the Senate. So that's something we're watching closely. I mentioned it the last time that they're currently underfunding schools by about $300 million. There does seem to be some movement in changing that, so I'm trying to pay attention and can kind of bring you an update as that moves forward, but currently it's still sitting in the House and has to be approved in several ways before we really see movement there. I also wanted to mention what Dr. Beck was speaking of, which is the cell phone policy. That is SB 68. It has actually passed the Senate and is sitting in the House now. So I just wanted to read what exactly that is. What it is asking is that it would make Missouri schools required to implement a policy restricting students' use of personal electronic devices during school hours to enhance education and safety. The policy must ban device use from start to end of the school day, specify disciplinary measures, and allow exceptions for emergencies, instruction, health, educational needs. It is basically what our district already had, even without Yonder. So it's not necessarily saying that they would have to put Yonder into practice, but just that all districts would take a stance of we aren't having cell phones within a classroom. Okay, I think the last thing I wanted to talk about, again, has already been mentioned, but I'm just going to reiterate school board elections. April 8th, there are a couple of things on the ballot. It's not just school boards, but there are 2 seats available. Matt Welker will be running for one of the seats for his 3rd term. If you're interested, actually, J.C. Reeves with the Southeast Missourian did an article. Yes, hello. He did an article where he interviewed all of the candidates. So if you're interested in hearing what they have to say, then that resource is there for you. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jared, I just want to say that other than that being wise and eloquent, imagine the smallest type possible on your phone.
I know.
And make it like 50% smaller. Like, the fact that she was reading something on this is absolutely unbelievable. I'm looking at this thinking, like, she can't possibly read a word on that page, and then she was literally reading it. So she should
I
also
really
be like
am
our,
only 24.
She should
That's what it is, those 24-year-old
our optometry
eyes.
representative or something, too. It's incredible. Marveling at her.
Awesome. Love it. All right, up next we have our Cape Public Schools Foundation. Awesome. Dr. Fegley.
For the foundation on April 3rd, there is a mix and mingle at Roost from 4 to 7. And EBO is a sponsor and will be providing apps for that. And then May 12th is the foundation golf tournament. So the day after Mother's Day, time for a golf tournament.
Thank you. Up next, under our non-action items for the evening, we have some first readings of our board policy sent out previous for your review. So I won't be clicking into every single one of them. There's obviously a lot, but I will give you the headlines if I can. Policy BBBB-2, school board ballot issues. Policy DFI-2, setting tuition for district programs. Policy IC-2, academic calendar. Policy IGCD, virtual courses. Policy JEA, compulsory and part-time attendance. Policy JHDF, suicide awareness and prevention. Policy BDC, closed meetings, records, and votes. Policy GCBA, professional staff compensation. policy IGBI, homeschooling, policy IGCDA, full-time MOCAP virtual courses, and policy JED, student absences and excuses. All right, so will you get another reading next month on those? Up next, we have our approval of consent agenda items board sent out previously for your review. They are minutes from the February 22nd board meeting, payment of bills, and Career Technology Center tuition rates for 2025 and 26. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Cook, Dr. Fegley, discussion. Any discussion? Dr. Crowley?
Did you want to talk about the tuition increase? Just, yeah, if you don't, just short.
Good evening. So we've proposed a tuition increase. Not something we necessarily enjoy doing, but it is necessary given the fact that, you know, when we look at the continuing increased costs of training students and what it costs to run the Career and Technology Center, it's something we do need to review. This coming school year will be 5 years since our last tuition increase for in particular 9-month technical programs in secondary schools. And so what we've done is set forth a plan, but the initial tuition increase would go from $2,700 to $2,750 for the 25-26 school year. And then we have a 3-year plan for reoccurring increases up to the total of the potential of $3,000 for the total tuition. What this does is, one, helps you know, kind of relieve the sting to sending schools and things like that as far as just the all-in-one whack. But it also gives us time to continue to evaluate the increase and see what direction we need to go as we proceed through the next 3 years. So is there any questions that you all have as to this proposal? And we will be reaching out, obviously, tomorrow morning, first thing. I will be contacting our sending schools and as well as Dr. Benyon and talking through, you know, the information being sent out to our sending schools.
I would just say if it's been 5 years since you've raised
Yeah.
rates and you're doing it by less than 2%, a little over 3%, and a little over 5% in years 1, 2, and 3, you're doing something right.
So we
Keep
started,
costs down.
just so you guys know, we started looking at just budgets in general, and I looked at the CTC budget. We operate the CTC. I don't know if districts truly know that send students there, is that we actually support the CTC to stay open around $500,000 a year just for secondary, and then we also have post-secondary. So we have to start looking at recouping some of those costs. We can't continue to subsidize for everyone. We want to have the program in our community, but we also have to do it at a reasonable cost, at a responsible, because we're responsible for our community's dollars. So.
Yeah.
And I
Part of
think
the
we, to add to that, I think we, you know, it has been, you know, we waited 5 years and then hopefully implementing it the way we're looking at doing it to kind of relieve some of that sting will help. But it's been 5 years. And we actually have a running document of all career centers, and you know, there's 57 in the state of Missouri. Most schools are in the same situation that we are as Cape Public Schools, or wherever the career center's under the umbrella of, you know, the operational cost and things like that. But, you know, with all of the increases in materials and supplies and just what it takes to train, and the fact that we offer so much, which first and foremost, thank you all for, I mean, you guys are, this is an awesome thing, the Career and Technology Center. I mean, we get compliments all the time statewide for what we're doing here and as a district and as a Career and Technology Center and what we're able to offer. And we are able to offer a lot more than what other career centers are. So it is a huge benefit to us and our community to have this, but I mean, fact remains, we do need to look at that cost and obviously want to keep it as low as possible for secondary and adults. But then, we also want to make sure that we're doing due diligence and not just costing the district an astronomical amount. So, any other questions? Thank you.
All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The consent agenda is approved. Thank you. No business this evening, but we do have information and proposals from board members. Do we have anything this evening from anybody?
Playing the foundation tournament in May, and then the booster club is in July 11th. Come play in that golf tournament. Get your golf on this summer.
I wanted to say something real quick too. I popped in for that sub appreciation breakfast, and that was just really, really neat to see just the gratitude that our district has for our substitutes. They're a vital part in the work that everyone's doing. So it was just really neat to see. I was glad that I got to pop in for a few minutes.
Absolutely.
I'd like to take the opportunity to thank you all. It's been a privilege to serve on the board with you all. I also appreciate all the support that's been shown to me to continue running for the school board, so I hope to be able to retain and continue serving with you guys. If not, regardless of the election results, I will continue my support and love for this district. So thank you all.
Thank you.
I appreciate everyone as well. The last 3 years has been a trip for sure, but I appreciate you guys and taking me in and teaching me everything there is, and good luck.
Well, Veronica, thank you once again for your service, and Matt, good luck with your continued service. With that, I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Cook, Dr. Fegley, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? We are adjourned from this meeting and back upstairs.